So, as you saw this model of you monitoring your class and like giving them independent practice, what did you notice that were some differences or some gaps between what you saw in the model video?
I didn't have a set path, so like I was just kind of walking around and looking. I think it was like the first one they did. It was still technically part of guided practice, but they were like trying one on their own. So I was just kind of like looking at everyone, but I wasn't going through. I also didn't tell them what to do when they were done, but she didn't like have that in the model. But I probably should have told them like what they should do when they're done, because like when I usually do the first one on their own, they do wait and start afterwards, or they like maybe like read a book or something to do, just so I can make sure everyone's got it. And I gave like some feedback to Torian, but then I didn't like check back up on make sure that he was getting started right away. And I probably could have given more scholars feedback. I was just like looking. I wasn't like aggressively going through and like making sure they were like doing every step right. I was waiting until they were done to see if they got it, which means that I wouldn't check like a misconception between. So
yeah. So I mean, again, definitely much higher level of compliance than there had been in the past.
Yeah, it looked good. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's a large improvement. But there wasn't a strategic pathway. It was something I noticed. The expectations for, I know it was guided practice, but independent within that, there weren't behavioral expectations set. You didn't necessarily have a key in your hand. You gave feedback, but it was not strategic as well, kind of like what you pulled out. So like those were some of the things, some of the gaps that I saw. In this week, for your aggressive monitoring piece, what I'd like to work on specifically for your action step is, and you can write it down, is aggressive monitoring. And thinking about when you're setting them up before you begin, is providing scholars clear directions for what you expect them to do when they're working independently. And we're going to think in terms of like movement, volume, and participation.
Okay.
And then we're going to do what's called a victory lap to make sure all scholars are following those MVP directions by working and being on task. So that's what we'll be thinking about next week. So what do you have for your action step?
Aggressive monitoring, specifically focused on the clear what to do during independent work, and doing a victory lap monitoring.
Yes, monitoring. So we're going to plan. We have a few minutes. So what we're going to do is plan what you're going to say for your MVP directions. Before you release scholars to do some problems by themselves. So I want you to think about what the movement. Do you want scholars do you want 100%? I'm sorry. So do you want what do you want them to do like right away? Do you want their pencils moving right away? What's the volume level you want in the room? The level of participation, specifically like what numbers you have that you want them to do. For your directions.
Can I do a general one and not this lesson? Because this lesson is going to have a lot of reading in it. Okay, so this is hard because like they can't read these numbers. Like they're going to be read out loud to them on the assessment. So I'm going to have to actually go page by page and have them do it. I mean, for this part, I guess it's going to be independent.
Okay.
But like these are page by page, which really is annoying because a lot of the math lessons coming up are going to have to be like more assessment read to them, which is going to be tricky. I can like work on it.
It's fine. I mean, we can do it because I think it'll work like in the future for like other.
Yeah, it will work in the future. I just like there's a couple coming up that like are have to be read, which is awkward. So, but I can do like a generic one and then try to like figure out what I can take for that. Try right. Am I ready? Okay.
I'm gonna ask Miss Sticks to step into your room for like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, what time is it?
Well, the thing nice about these things is like their classes are like 15 kids, so.
Literally, you know how when Lorenzo does the like, she finishes and practice new lines. You know how Lorenzo does that? Where he's like, it should be done in that 5. Personally, the exact same thing. It's like
Lunchtime and So, what do you have on your paper as what you want to give as your directions?
My what to do directions are chairs tucked, eyes tracking paper, pencils moving, brain on, trying your best, level 0.
So I think it's great that you have their eyes tucked. I mean, their chairs tucked, their eyes tucked, their eyes on their own paper, their pencils moving right away. How much time are you going to give them to work? Do you have a time that you want to see?
I just thought about this because I'm realizing that like my math lessons are going really long, so they're having a hard time staying silent. So I was trying to think of maybe like chunking out the math independent work time because sometimes it's like a long time. And I was thinking like maybe in chunks of like 10 minutes. And then if we get to 10 minutes and like we're still like working, which like we will be, like take a quick like break, like you know like say a cheer or like move your hands around a little bit and then like work again. So I haven't tried this yet, but like it's a thought I'm having because like we're having a really hard time sitting still when the lesson's harder and like continuing to work. If it's like 30 minutes later, they're just like I can't do this anymore. So
because it is hard to sit. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I even think 10 minutes may be a stretch.
Okay.
You may want to try
5.
5.
Just start with 5.
I would
start with 5. 5 is good. 5 is good. I'm good with that. I'm trying anything. So because we can't sit still that long. So
yeah, I think breaking it up with like
Just
a
5
small
minutes.
is great. I think 5
Okay.
minutes is great.
5-minute chunks. Okay.
Yeah. So
I was trying to try that, and I think I can do that with any of this. So
And I think so. We can practice with these directions. I think it's great. Chairs tucked, eyes on the paper, pencils moving, brains on. You have 5 minutes to work. And it says, "I will check
your first 2 problems row by row. So when I get to you, before I get to you, just keep going.
Yep.
What
And
am I
so
gonna do?
it,
Keep going.
yep. And you communicated what they should be doing, so they shouldn't stop and be like, "Miss got me, Miss got me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't show me that you're done. Just keep going.
So we'll practice that.
Okay.
You can stand up and we'll
Okay.
step together.
Question. My what to do directions. I had them because I was gonna say like what to do and then tell them what I was gonna do. But should I say this first and then give them the what to do directions? Like I'm gonna come around and check. So like just so like they hear those last. Should I say that first? As you're working, like I'm gonna come around and check your first 2 problems for rows. Before I get to you, just keep going.
Yeah. I think
While
if
you're
they-
working, your chairs are tucked, your eyes are tracking me, your pencil, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just make sure before you even start, I would just say all eyes are tracking me. Or
Okay.
Start.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, hands are folded. Scholars, now it's time for you to get to do your own problems and show me how big your brain is. Sign excitement. Yay, back and start. Track me. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do during this time. Your eyes are still tracking me. You're listening to the directions with your listening ears. I'm going to come around while you're working on your own and check each of your row at a time. I'm going to come to your row. I'm going to come to
Your row.
that's
my row.
my row. I'm going to come to your row like purple row. What row?
Purple row.
I'm going to come to purple row and I'm going to say, I'm going to check your first 2 problems all together. So if I haven't gotten to your row, you're going to keep working, keep showing me how big your brain is. As you're working, I'm looking for chairs tucked in all the way, eyes tracking your paper, pencils moving, brain on, trying your best. Also going to be listening for no sound. Get ready. Pencils moving, eyes tracking your paper. I'm going to come around to the one row at a time.
Did
Yeah.
you say 5 minutes?
I didn't. Okay, sorry. All right. Should I say that after I say this? Like, I have 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think you can say
Okay,
it after all that.
okay.
You have 5 minutes.
So, as you're working, your chairs are tucked, eyes tracking your paper, pencils moving, brain on, doing its best, silent, level 0. You're going to have 5 minutes to work. Then we're going to take a little break and start working again. Pencils up, get started.
Okay. So how did that feel with like giving them that 5 minute time
like
and like
that.
letting them know that they'll have like a break?
Yeah, I think the break is a really good idea. I'm excited to try that today. That's really terrible writing. I'm excited to try that today. I want to make sure I have a timer on the board because I'll probably not keep myself accountable if I don't have a timer.
Yeah, you can cast your timer.
But I think that's a good idea, and I was going to try that today. I've also been trying something with them we're really bad at being silent to listen in the afternoon. So I'm doing like a little mini incentive of like setting a timer, and if like everyone's silent during that time, then we get like 1 minute to like do something and then like go back. So it's kind of like the theme of the day right now. So I'm excited to try it out and see how they react to it, and hopefully they can get back to serious, because that's going to be like.
Well, I think you did a really good job with scripting your directions, especially like the chair stuff, because those are things that they need to do and keep their pencils moving, and they know that you're going to come around. They know how much time. So it gives them more of an incentive to work, and they know that they get like a small break or a cheer. So it gives them more of an incentive to work and stay on task, so that you can get to that aggressive monitoring piece of like knowing your pathway, giving them that quick specific feedback. And just in general, making sure they're following your model, which is what, we'll work on next. But I wanted to like start at this small piece, so that they knew like exactly how to behave during that time.
I think that's good.
And just as a follow-up, so I know we'll meet again next Thursday. I would like to see you giving those clear directions for the monitoring piece. And if you can record yourself before next Wednesday, and then just upload it to YouTube. If you need help, some people have been needing help with their iPad. I think you need to just you can put any app or like your email app on there, and it can upload to your email.
Okay.
And then you can send it to me.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks, and thanks for meeting with me.
Do I take these?
Yes, those are your notes.